JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, jerk chicken vendor gunned down in Portmore. A jerk chicken vendor was shot and killed by unknown assailants in Portmore, St. Catherine on Saturday night. The incident happened on the Brayton Main Road in the vicinity of the Texaco gas station. The deceased has been identified as Kavon Davis. According to police reports, Davis was shot and killed by unknown assailants while he was at his jerk chicken establishment at about 9:45 p.m. The police were summoned and arrived on the scene to find the vendor lying on his back on the ground. He was transported to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Investigations are ongoing. Westmoreland man gunned down. A 36-year-old man was gunned down by unknown assailants in Sheffield, in Negril, Westmoreland on Sunday morning. He has been identified as Courtney Smith of Orange Street in the parish. Reports are that residents reportedly heard gunshots in the community about 3 a.m. and alerted the police. Smith was later found lying face down behind his motor vehicle with multiple gunshot wounds to his head and upper body. He died at hospital. The Savlamar police are investigating. St. James man charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. 30-year-old Rayon Samuels of Paradise Crescent in St. James has been charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition following an operation conducted in his community on Friday. According to reports from the Freeport Police, law enforcers spotted Samuels standing at a shop with a brown paper bag in his hand. Upon seeing the police, Samuels quickly went inside the shop and came out shortly after without the paper bag. Samuels was accosted and brought back inside the shop where a search was conducted and the paper bag found under the counter. The bag contained a CZ 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 13 9mm rounds. This incident happened at around 8:30 a.m. Samuels was later charged after a question and answer session. A court date for the matter has not yet been established. $250,000 reward for finding missing teacher. Cheryl Williams has been hoping for over 2 months. Her daughter, 34-year-old Rochelle Williams, a teacher of Goshen District in St. Anne, has been missing since September 15. After paying people to search for her daughter in September, Cheryl went broke. Doubling down on efforts, the family is now offering a $250,000 reward to anyone who can aid in finding Rochelle. We are putting out a reward for $250,000 for anyone who has any information regarding her whereabouts. This thing needs call to urgency, and we need to get it out because nobody else is doing anything. She's 34, and she'll be celebrating her birthday December 2. Everything is pushed under the carpet. Nothing. Not one person has called. Not even the police. Nobody reached out to me after they said they got reports that they saw her in Claremont and did a search, Cheryl said. The police just asked me if me hear anything or if me get any phone calls, and that's it. Everybody just come and big up them chests, and then after everything, you are left alone to do your own probing. Right now I plan to just pay somebody and drive on the whole island and see if me find me pitney. Whether she dead or alive, me just want to know so me have closure. I need to do something, I can't just sit here, she added. Reports from the Brownstown police are that on Wednesday, September 15, about 4 p.m., Rochelle was last seen at a plaza, dressed in a blue blouse and black pants. Cheryl lost her daughter at home the morning of September 15, about 10 a.m. Cheryl left home to conduct business in Brownstown, and when she returned about 12:15 p.m., Rochelle, a teacher of maths at Marcus Garvey Technical High School, was missing. On Wednesday, October 6, the police said residents reportedly saw Rochelle entering a truck headed to Monique. Senior Superintendent Dwight Powell, commanding officer for the St. Anne Police Division, said that the reports engendered a widened search, but the search conducted by the police and their colleagues ended in disappointment. And there were also reports that the teacher was seen in another community, Claremont. I went through Claremont myself, me and our godmother. We searched ourselves, I paid people and they went through and they search, and we run out of cash. Imagine you have something like this and there's nobody afterwards. I am left alone, I am all alone, I am here by myself. There's nothing, you don't hear anything like you just push under the carpet. It's like, oh, it is just another person gone missing. I don't hear from anybody, Cheryl said. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Rochelle Williams is asked to contact the Brownstown Police at 876-975-2233, the Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Search continues following mob killing of St. Thomas man. The St. Thomas police have not yet identified persons involved in the mob killing of Levi Chambers in Londowi 3 weeks ago. Mr. Chambers was stabbed to death after being mistakenly identified as the suspect in the abduction of 2 girls in the parish. The police had been reviewing video footage from the attack. Commanding officer for the St. Thomas Police Division, Superintendent Alison Byfield, is urging residents with information on the case to report to the police. The police are still going through the area trying to identify persons involved in the mob killing. We have looked at some video footage, and we have been unable to identify persons so far. We have asked residents who are aware of what happened and have video footage to turn it over to the police. We are still searching, said Byfield. Hilton accuses Housing Ministry of being part of diabolical plot to force Riverton residents off land. Member of Parliament for St. Andrew Western Anthony Hilton has charged that the Pernell Charles Jr.-led Ministry of Housing, Urban Renewal and Climate Change appears to be part of a diabolical plot to force long-standing residents of Riverton off the lands they have occupied for decades. Hilton made the charge during his recent contribution to the State of the Constituency debate in the House of Representatives. According to Hilton, it appears the plot is being backed by the ministry, which, despite my urgent request to meet to discuss this and other pressing issues, has not found the time. The minister has only recently agreed to meet upon his return from the UN Climate Conference in Glasgow, Scotland, in a few weeks' time, Hilton said. He has also accused an unnamed businessman who he said has claimed possession of the land adjacent to Spanish Town Road of trying to pressure the residents to relocate. In outlining the history of how hundreds of people ended up at the site of the Riverton dump, Hilton recalled that they were among Jamaicans who were thrown off the lands at what was Bacawall in West Kingston to make way for the new development of Tivoli Gardens. He said some of them have been living in Riverton for up to 60 years. Those who were dislodged have not forgotten that traumatic and painful event. Many of these persons took refuge literally in the dump at Riverton and have eked out a living for themselves, their children, grand and great-grandchildren, many of whom still occupy parcels of lands in the Riverton community, some for more than 12 years minimum, and others for as long as 60 years, said Hilton. He said it is against that background, and without any consultation with either himself as Member of Parliament, the Council or the citizens, someone who previously owned land elsewhere along the industrial belt shows up to insist that the people be removed from the land to make way for factory development. Hilton made it clear that he's against a factory being built in the middle of a residential community, especially in light of environmental concerns. He also said history is threatening to repeat itself in another generation after the Bacawall incident. According to him, the businessman is claiming to have purchased the land without sufficient proof of having done so lawfully, and is insisting that the families remove themselves from the land immediately or face being fenced in behind a wall to be built. Tension is rising in the area. Predictably, the area is on edge, Hilton stated. I've registered my objection to this forced removal of persons from their homes, he added. The MP says he wants to know when and why the restrictive covenant on the title to the land, limiting its use to residential development, was removed from the covenant to allow for factory development. Hilton is also trying to ascertain why the residents were reportedly told by ministry officials that they could not purchase the land because it was being sold by a private treaty, in breach of the land divestment policy of 2015, thereby denying them the right of first refusal to purchase the said lands. And Hilton also wants to know when, if at all, the declaration of the land as Operation Pride Land under the Housing Act was rescinded. Additionally, the MP says the government must disclose whether there are plans for the development of the other parcels of Riverton lands, for which there has been no discussion or consultation with the representatives of the people or the residents themselves. 94 new COVID-19 cases, one more death reported. The Ministry of Health and Wellness reported 94 new COVID-19 cases and one additional death on Saturday, November 5, bringing the local infection total to 89,681 and the virus death toll to 2,275. The new cases comprised 40 females and 54 males with ages ranging from 49 days to 180 years. The cases were recorded in Hanover 2, Clarendon 5, Kingston and St. Andrews 16, Manchester 3, Portland 4, St. Catherine 25, St. Anne 2, St. James 13, St. Mary 4, St. Thomas 8, Trelawney 2, St. Elizabeth 7, and Westmoreland 3. The deceased has been identified as a 63-year-old female from St. Catherine. Her death occurred on November 5, 2021. In the meantime, 138 more people recovered in the last 24 hours, bringing total recoveries to 59,039. Currently, 232 people are hospitalized, 11 of which are critically ill, while 21 are severely ill and 41 are moderately ill. According to the Health Ministry, There are 27,747 confirmed active COVID-19 cases on the island. At JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.